Hello, everyone, and welcome to this leadership lesson. Today, we're going to talk about an important biblical leadership principle: planning with diligence while committing our work to the Lord. Many leaders have vision and passion, but without clear planning, progress can become slow and inconsistent or even frustrating. Scripture actually speaks directly to this issue and gives us a powerful framework for leadership. So let's begin with two key verses. The first, Proverbs 21:5, which says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty." And then Proverbs 16, verse 3 tells us, "Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established." When we look at these two passages together, we see a very important leadership truth. God honors leaders who plan diligently and dedicate their plans to Him. Biblical leadership is never careless and it is never reactive. Instead, Scripture encourages intentional preparation combined with spiritual dependence on God. There are three key principles here that every leader should understand. First, diligent planning leads to progress. Proverbs 21:5 tells us that the plans of the diligent lead to abundance. That word diligent is important. It describes someone who is careful, thoughtful, and consistent. Progress rarely happens accidentally. Leaders who see meaningful growth are leaders who take time to think ahead, set priorities, and clear steps forward. Diligent leaders ask questions like, what are we trying to accomplish? How are we going to get there? Who is responsible for each part of the work? You see, without a plan, even good intentions can drift. Scripture contrasts diligent planning with haste, acting quickly without preparation, responding only as a reaction to current circumstances in the moment. And that often leads to wasted effort and missed opportunities and disappointment. You high I personalities will tend to be hasty. You high C personalities will tend to be overly perfectionist and task focused to the point of leaving out the needs of people. You high D personalities may tend to tell people what to do rather than showing them how to do it well. And you high S people, well, you might avoid confronting those who are failing to perform as expected. In leadership, we move from vague intentions to clear and structured plans. And second, we must commit our plans to the Lord. Planning alone is simply not enough. Proverbs 16:3 reminds us that our work must ultimately be surrendered to God. It says, "Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established." As Christian leaders, we do not simply create plans based on our own ambitions. Instead, we prayerfully ask God to guide our work. We ask questions like, does this align with God's mission? Does this reflect the character of Christ? And will this serve people in a meaningful way? When we commit our plans to the Lord, something powerful happens. God aligns our motives. He gives wisdom in our decisions, and He helps establish the work that truly matters. We plan diligently, but we trust God with the results. The third is good plans require clear goals and consistent action. Even the best plan will not produce results unless it is executed consistently. Our practical tool that many effective leaders use is what we call the concept of SMART goals. SMART goals help turn vision into measurable progress. SMART goals are required for our team, required for our teaching staff, and required of our CPE students. Now, SMART is an acronym that stands for 5 things. Goals should be specific. That is, they should clearly define what needs to be accomplished. And they should be measurable so that progress can be tracked. They should be achievable, meaning that they're realistic and attainable. They should be relevant, that is, connected to the mission and the priorities of the organization or for your life. And finally, they should be time-bound, meaning they have a clear deadline. SMART goals help leaders move from simply saying, we want improvement, to identifying exactly what progress and improvement would look like and creating a strategy to get there. A very effective rhythm for leadership planning is the 90-day cycle. Long-term vision is essential, but shorter planning cycles help leaders maintain momentum and focus. A 90-day planning period allows leaders to regularly evaluate their progress, reset their priorities, and keep their teams moving forward. Every 90 days, you should pause and ask a few important questions like, well, where am I now? What is the most important progress that I need to make in the next 3 months? What items from the last quarter were not fully achieved? Should they be carried over? Are they no longer needed? And what measurable outcomes will tell us that we are actually succeeding? What specific actions must we take consistently in order to reach the goals that we've set for ourselves, for our team, and for our ministry? And from there, leaders can develop SMART goals that guide their work for the next quarter. This quarterly rhythm keeps teams focused, keeps individuals accountable. So let me suggest a simple leadership process that you can follow. Step 1 is seek God's direction. Before creating plans, spend time in prayer, asking God for wisdom, clarity, and alignment with His purpose. Step 2 is create SMART goals. Identify the most important priorities over the next 90 days. And by the way, if you want to make your goals smarter, add the E of excitement or energetic and the R of risky. After all, if your goal does not excite and energize you, you will never stick with it long enough to accomplish it. And if your goals are not risky, well, then you can do it without God. And what kind of a godly goal is that if you can do it without His help? Now, step 3 is to build the plan. Outline specific actions and responsibilities and measurable outcomes. Step 4 is to commit that plan to the Lord. Dedicate the work to Him. Ask Him for guidance through prayer. And step 5 is execute with diligence. Work the plan consistently every week. And finally, step 6, evaluate every 90 days. Review your progress. Celebrate your victories. Learn from challenges. Set new goals for the next season. And here is the key takeaway. Biblical leadership is not passive. Neither is biblical instruction or life coaching or teaching and mentoring. Discipleship is an activity. It is not an event. All of this implies a partnership with God that requires a vision and thoughtful planning and prayerful dependence and faithful execution. When leaders plan wisely and commit their work to the Lord and pursue their goals diligently, God often multiplies the efforts. Proverbs reminds us that the plans of the diligent lead to abundance. And when we commit our work to the Lord, He establishes the work of our hands. As leaders, we are called to steward our responsibilities well. As good stewards, we also need to be clear about our main thing. We can commit to so many different things that we're so busy doing so many things that we are not producing excellence or quality in any one of them. Remember that less is more. Make your main thing the one thing that you will focus on and keep moving forward toward that. Do you know what your main thing is? It should be part of your long-term mission and your vision and your 10-year plan. That means we seek God's guidance, we plan carefully, and we work faithfully. When those things come together, progress becomes not only possible, but sustainable. Thank you for joining us during this leadership session. And I pray that this biblical principle of leadership and planning helps you lead with wisdom, clarity, and purpose, and that you can make steady progress.